Welcome to Tools for Teens, where the smart get smarter. Today's lesson is all about learning faster. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Tools for Teens. Today we are continuing our series of how to learn faster with AI. Let's get into it. The first tool that I'm going to show you is the book chapter summarizer. We've talked about this before. And as always, you can find all the links to these resources and AI tools in the resource section. If you just click on the AI tools, choose your lesson, and then go to resources. Here I have a video with Dr. Matt Walker, the leading scientist in terms of sleep science. And what you can see here is that it's a conversation between him and Andrew Huberman of over 3 hours. All right. So I actually think this is a very useful conversation. I did listen to this conversation, but let's say it's a conversation that you don't necessarily want to listen to from beginning till end, and you just want to extract the key information. Here is what you can do. So by now you should have GLASP installed, and I'm just going to click here on the transcript and summary button. And now I have the full 3-hour transcript. So now I can just click on the copy transcript button. And now I can go to ChatGPT. So I say summarize the transcript, and it's going to respond with ready. I paste this in and I say enter. You'll see a notification here at the top that says the message you submitted was too long. Please submit something shorter. All right. But there is a workaround. So now I'm going to go to my notepad, which we also talked about in one of the first lessons. You're going to use your notepad a lot. Get used to it. So now I'm pasting all of that in. Okay. And I'm going to save this file as a text file. Matt Walker Sleep Science or something like that. So I save that file. And now I can upload the text file. I'll just delete all of this text. Just going to tick this button, and it says it's ready to summarize whatever transcript that I'm going to give it. So now I'm going to upload that text file, and I press enter. So what you can see here is now that a 3-hour conversation has been turned into concise, coherent, chronological bullet points that I can easily read through to get an idea of what this conversation is about. And then if I feel like I want to know more, I might go back to the conversation and actually spend the time listening to what they have to say. So now let's use this GPT with a book. So here I have Atomic Habits, which I do recommend that you read from beginning to end. And again, what I'll do is instead of just uploading the whole book, I think it's much more useful to do chapter by chapter if you want to extract key information. And I'm just going to highlight this text. So now I have chapter 1 highlighted. I'm going to Control C. So I'm going to copy all of this text and I'm going to put it into my notepad. So I'll save that file as Atomic Habits chapter 1. And now I will go back to my book chapter summarizer. I'll just click this button, summarize the transcript. It tells me that it's ready. So now I'm just going to upload that file. And as soon as it's uploaded, I press enter. Great. It's going to quickly read through chapter 1, extract the key insights, and put it into concise, coherent bullet point notes. So now the great thing is I can actually talk to ChatGPT about the content of this chapter, and I can give it a prompt, something like, I'm a teenager, I'm 16 years old, and I want to use my phone less. Any advice from this chapter to help me? ? Let's see what ChatGPT tells me. That's a great goal. Based on chapter 1 of Atomic Habits, here are some practical ways to use your phone less. So it's almost like speaking to the author of the book and getting insight based on the context of my situation from the knowledge base of this book. I think this is a great hack. And before we move on, I want to remind you what we learned in the lesson about ethics. And if you remember the zone of proximal development, the idea is not that AI just summarizes all the books in the world for you. Some books you just need to read. So it's your responsibility to figure out where the zone of proximal development is in terms of information and when you think it's okay for AI to summarize things on your behalf. The next tool we're going to use is Notebook LM. We've talked about this before, a powerful tool to learn very, very quickly. So I'm just going to create a new notebook. And I'm going to upload the whole book into Notebook LM as a resource. So it's going to take a few seconds to upload the book. And now the magic happens because now I can generate a conversation between two AI avatars that talk about the book, but I can also join the conversation. Okay, so Notebook LM gives me a quick summary of the book. I'm going to go to this section, the deep dive conversation section, and I'm going to say generate a conversation. This takes a few minutes, and then I'm going to join the conversation. So this takes a few minutes to generate. In the meantime, we're going to look at another tool. This is the new aistudio.google.com website, and there you can talk with Gemini live. And what I love about this platform is that you can share your screen and talk to Gemini based on what is on your screen. So let's do that. I went to the Khan Academy website under the statistics and probability section, and I found a lesson that we can explore together with Gemini. So I'm going to share my screen and then ask Gemini to help me through this problem.
I can certainly help. Please tell me what the problem is.
Hi, Gemini, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Is there anything specific you want me to look at?
Okay, so we're looking at a statistics and probability problem here. I want you to help me through this. The first question is, the distribution of time spent getting dressed is symmetric. I don't want you to give me the answer. I just want you to help me think through this problem.
Okay, I understand. So the first statement asks if the distribution of time spent getting dressed is symmetric. Based on the graph, does the triangle look symmetrical?
It does look symmetrical, so I'm going to go for yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, what about the second statement? What does the graph suggest about the median time spent getting dressed?
Okay, so can you just remind me, what does median mean?
Sure. The median is the middle value in a dataset. If the data is ordered from least to greatest, it's the value that separates the higher half from the lower half.
Yeah, so I'm going to say the median, if I look at this picture, is right in the middle between the data point 4 and 6. So I'm going to say 5. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The median appears to be at 5 minutes based on the graph.
Okay, so let's get back to Notebook LM. Now I'm going to choose this option of interactive mode, and I'm going to press play, and I'm going to join the conversation. Let's see what happens.
All right, so we're going deep on Atomic Habits by James Clear today.
Okay.
A ton of great stuff in these excerpts you sent over.
Yeah.
And the goal is, well, we don't want to just repeat what you've already read.
Right. Hey there. Want to share your thoughts?
Hi, before you get into the book, I'm actually a teenager. I'm about 15 years old, and I'm struggling to spend less time on my phone. Does Atomic Habits give any advice with regards to what I can do to solve this problem?
Clear actually spends some time talking about making bad habits difficult.
Okay, so it's not just about making good habits easy.
Right. One thing he says is to reduce exposure to the cues that trigger your bad habits.
Okay, so the things that make you want to check your phone.
Exactly. So if you want to spend less time on your phone, one thing he suggests is to leave it in another room for a few hours.
Like when you're trying to study.
Yeah, if you're trying to focus on something, take your phone and hide it somewhere.
That's a simple way to remove the temptation.
He says that self-control is a short-term strategy, but not a long-term one.
So you shouldn't rely on your willpower alone.
You should make it hard for the bad habit to even have it in the first place.
And he talks about how
Okay, so you can really see how this could supercharge your learning. Having a conversation with two AI avatars that have legitimate, reliable sources that they're extracting their information from is just a game changer. So let's stop there for today. I hope this was useful. I can't wait to see how you supercharge and fast track your learning with AI. I'll see you in the next one. Stay adaptable.